That's good enough, loud enough. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. This is a meeting of the Board of Weber County Commissioners. It's Tuesday, the 9th of February, 10 a.m. We have a full quorum today. Present to my right is Commissioner Scott Jenkins. To my left is Commissioner Gage Farrar. I'm Commissioner Harvey. We welcome you. Those of you who are in the galley today, we appreciate you being here. Boy, what a handsome group. I don't remember when we've had such a handsome group. Well, I do too. But it's been a while. Well, at least a week. Okay, our Pledge of Allegiance today will be given by Ashton Wilson. She will lead us in that pledge. Our invocation will be given by Commissioner Scott Jenkins, and our thought of the day will be given by Commissioner Farrar. Ashton?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our Heavenly Father, as we come before you this day, we give you thanks for the blessings in our lives, for the opportunity we all have of serving in this county, for our health and welfare. We pray for the health and welfare of all the employees of this county and their spouses and families, that they'll be healthy and strong, and that they'll be watched over as they work here and spend time here. We're grateful, Heavenly Father, for this wonderful county we live in, and we pray that Thou'd bless it. We're very fortunate to live in such a wonderful county. We're grateful for all the blessings that Thou seems fit to bestow upon us, and we give you thanks for this and say it in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Commissioners, we have an event holiday coming up a week from yesterday. I believe it's called President's Day. For those that look at their calendars. So I thought this morning, on thought of the day, that we'd actually test your knowledge of past presidents. I think that's something that we want to make sure the public understands. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a little game called Name That President.
Okay.
And just so you know, this is not, there are some very scrumptious kisses that will go to whoever gets it correct. And then at the end of the day, there's actually 5 questions. Whoever has the majority of those can call themselves the president winner. So here we go. You ready?
Just a second. Can we phone a friend or ask the audience?
No.
Okay.
No lifelines in this event, so you're on your own. Sorry. So I'm going to start. These are all, I'm going to give you a hint. These are all fairly old presidents, so that's your lifeline. I'm not going to use anything from the last 2 or 3 because that would be unfair. But that's all the information you're going to get. So the first president that we're going to talk about said this: 99% of failures come from people who make excuses. Who do you think was that president?
I think I know. Do you know?
You can guess.
Ronald Reagan.
Wrong.
I would say Grover Cleveland.
Sorry. We're going to go with our 2 over here at the side and see if they're doing any better.
Teddy Roosevelt.
Brian?
George Washington.
There we go. Pass that down to him. Look at that. Okay, leave it to the attorney. There you go. All right, next, our second president. You guys can do better than this. Okay. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. What president made that quote?
Jefferson.
Pretty close, but not right.
William Henry Harrison.
No, sorry. Back to the bench over here.
FDR.
What was that?
FDR.
No. Brian, you're batting 100%.
That was a lucky guess. Abraham Lincoln.
Close. Sorry. That one goes over here. John Adams. Okay. Third president. Whenever you do a thing, act as if all the world were watching. Whenever you do a thing, act as if the world we're watching. Who said that? What president? This is an easy one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Truman. It's either Roosevelt or Truman would be my guess.
No. Scott?
Thomas?
You got it. Well, finish the last part. All right, there we go. Commissioner word right there. All right.
You.
Harv, I hate to tell you this, but you're in last place.
Okay.
Moving on.
Well, that's okay. I'm comfortable there.
Okay. All right, number 4, but you still have an opportunity now to make up for it. Number 4, it is easier to do a job right than to explain why you didn't. It's easier to do a job right than explain why you didn't.
Isn't that Benjamin Franklin?
Well, as I remember, he was never a president. I know. Harv, you got a wild guess?
Taft.
No.
John Quincy Adams.
No, we just did his.
No idea.
Van
Go with
Buren.
Lincoln again.
Oh, Martin.
Martin Van Buren. One of your favorite presidents. All right. Last. This, everybody should get this right. Leave nothing for tomorrow, which can be done today.
I think that is Roosevelt.
Harv? Come on, get one.
I'll take at least a swing at it.
Take somebody that their last name ends with Lincoln.
That's what I was just going to say.
Abraham Lincoln. Hey, pretty good job. I had 2 here that we're going to talk about later. And one personal privilege, if I might, Mr.
Please,
Chair, before we
yes.
move on. So a very special day today that for one of our commissioners' wife has a happy birthday today, Miss Jane Harvey. We want to wish her a happy birthday and the best of the day as she, and I'm not going to repeat, I think I saw what her age is, but she's substantially younger than some of us up here on the podium today. So give her our best.
I will. Thank you.
Happy
That's-
birthday, Mrs. Harvey.
Oh, that's nice, you guys. That'll put a grin on
That
our
concludes
face.
my thought, Commissioner.
Thank you. Good thought. That was great thought. Yep. Boy, you know, there's just more talents just keep coming from you. The Alex Trebek effect. We've just seen it live. Well, Shelley, to all of you, we're meeting in person. We're meeting on Zoom, and we also have people who can call in on the telephone. Is there anything on the agenda that would prompt any of you in the audience to address the commission? On Zoom, on phone, we're getting a no, then we'll move on to item F, our consent items on the agenda. We have 7 of them. The first one is a request for approval of the ratification of warrants 68 only in the amount of $57,341.13. Item 2 is a request for approval of warrants 3509 to 3532 and 456, 543 through and including 456, 673 in the amount of $731,675.49. Item 3 is a request for approval of purchase orders in the amount of $599,660.35. Item 4 is a request for approval of the minutes for the meeting held on February 2nd, 2021. Item 5 is a request for approval of HC payment to U.S. Bank in the amount of $137,476.54. Item number 6 is a request for approval of new business licenses. Item 7, request from the Building Inspection Department for approval to surplus 2 file cabinets and miscellaneous office supplies. Commissioner, questions on any of those consent items?
I do
Please.
have a question.
Commissioner
Normally-
Jenkins.
I wouldn't ask this, but this seems simple. 2 file cabinets to surplus. So we won't put those up and sell them. Won't we just bring them back here and give them to another department? I mean, file cabinets you're using all the time, aren't we?
I can answer that, Commissioner, Mr. Chair. Our purchasing office is the department that handles the surplusing process. And in the past, it's been pretty strict on what we could and could not do. We've altered the county policy to give our purchasing department a little bit more because you don't want to spend $100 to sell a $20 filing cabinet. So departments, when they're going to stop using a controlled asset like that, they have to go through an official process. I was just thinking, you talk about transparency and restrictions on government, and we're the only entity I know of that has to get an approval to throw something away. But that's how it is, because it's the people's asset. So generally what we do is we do make it available for other departments. And then depending on the value of the asset and the situation as determined by the purchasing director, we either will put it up for auction, for public auction, or we will send it to the dump, or we will make it available for employees or the public or nonprofit agencies to just take.
Well, I was just wondering, the file cabinets is about as basic as anything we have, and that is, you'd think you could stick them in a corner somewhere, and that within a few months, somebody'd be looking for a file cabinet.
Yeah. And we used to have a room full of desks, chairs, filing cabinets, old plotter printers. We had an old typewriter, a record player, a vintage record player. And our purchasing office has worked with operations, done a great job of cleaning that out and getting it so that we can find stuff if we want to reuse it, or that it doesn't just sit, that it gets taken care
I
of.
happened to have one of those things out of that room. When I very first came, I went and viewed that. And you had a little scale in there with some weights in there that was used years and years ago, and it's under a little glass facade, and I really like that. So that's sitting in my office up there. Reminds me of one my grandpa used to have when I was a little kid.
Speaking of kids, my kids keep telling me to throw away the file cabinets and put everything on a cloud. So I can see how this could happen.
Yeah.
I was working for the county, though. It used to be, like you said, Commissioner, though, when other counties would give, or other departments in the county would give something up, a lot of times, that's how we outfitted the whole Golden Spike, with stuff that was used and surplus, like everything, our cars, the desks, the file cabinets. I think over time, we'd work a little more efficiently. So I'm sure, I've got a lot of trust in Mr. Horn and Matt, the guys that do that. I'm sure it's done properly, and it's been noticed properly. So, any other questions, though, Commissioner?
Well, so, Jason, when we approve this, I want to be able to come down to your office and look at these. I assume they'll be in your office.
Fat chance.
Are there any rollers or hinges or bearings, little wheels with spindle things? Because I do know of one of the commissioners that's in sore need of a wheel with some ball bearings to move them. No, you're okay. Just there could be
Inside joke.
Something else. So, okay. Is there anything else, though, Commissioner?
Nope.
Mr. Hatch, would you please go over those in detail?
Morning, Commissioners. 19 purchase orders were issued this week for $600,000. 78% of that amount, or $468,000, will go towards replacing the sheriff vehicles, fleet vehicles for the year of 2021. 8%, or $49,000, is for the conference center, and that will go towards purchasing water heaters and a boiler, as well as ice machines. We issued 156 checks for $789,000. 28% of that amount, or $208,000, was to pay for construction on 12th Street, and that's paid for by the 1% sales tax amount. And we had two items at 13%, or just under $100,000. One is our parking structure construction, and one is for the jail to replace showers, as well as to pay for utilities and food. And then 11%, or $77,000, is for the Golden Spike to remodel kitchen and food preparation equipment, as well as to pay utilities.
Wonderful. Commissioners, I'd love that every week we go through the checkbook and we know what checks were sent out and where they went to. That's great. Any questions, Commissioners, on this?
No, I'm good. Whenever you're ready for a motion.
I'll entertain a motion to, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would move to approve consent items listed on our agenda, items F1 through 7.
Got a motion?
Second.
And a second. I'll place that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to move now to item G on the agenda, which are the action items. The first one is Cameron Mccarty. Request for approval of the first reading of the Weber County Fees Ordinance Amendment to update the Sheriff's Office fees. Welcome, Cameron.
Good morning. Thank you.
Glad to have you here. Is this your first presentation?
It is, yeah.
How you feeling right now?
A bit nervous. A bit nervous, but good.
Would you like
Glad to
me
be
to
here.
ask you a few more questions to kind of help settle that down, or you want to just get right to it?
No, you can ask away.
Who's your barber? You did a nice job.
Yeah, that's my wife. Yeah.
You did a really nice job.
So thank you.
Yeah, tell me. Okay, Cameron, go ahead.
So yeah, I'm here to update and amend the Weber County Fee Ordinance. We've made several changes through the Sheriff's Office to remove some fees, add a few for some new equipment, and then update our cost for housing inmates. I think you guys have a copy of this. Do I need to read it off, or
You're
do you
okay.
have any questions?
We have copies.
Okay.
Got copies, yep.
Anything else with your presentation?
Nothing
Commissioners, any questions for Cameron?
Nope.
Okay, then, Commissioners, I'll entertain a motion to approve or to deny. You know, it might be good if we had a little fun. Never mind.
Mr. Chair, I'd make that motion that we approve the request of the first reading of the Weber County Fee Ordinance Amendment to update the Sheriff's Office fees. I've actually reviewed those, and they appear to be in order.
Great. I got a motion.
I have second.
Great, thanks. I'll place that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. What a good job. Go back and tell them what a great job you did today. I really love it, though, and Aaron, especially when you're in there. I love that you're spreading this out and you're training everyone, and not just in the field but in other ways. That's really great. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, item number 2, Commissioners, is Mr. Duncan Olson. It's a request for approval of a contract by and between Weber County and the Utah Holstein Association for approval of rates for the auction barn arena for the Weber County Dairy Days being held at the Golden Spike Event Center. Mr. Olson,
Morning, Commissioners.
good morning.
It's that time of year again where we get to host the Weber County Dairy Days. This contract's the same as we've been doing it the last several years, with discounting some of the rates for the auction arena in trade for sponsorship. They give us about a page ad in their sales book, as well as advertising on their streamed service throughout the country.
Great. Thank you. Do you feel like that's an asset to us?
Yeah, I do. And it's such an awesome thing to give back to Weber County with the local dairy farmers. That's such a big part of our culture and our tradition, and being able to continue that, it's right up our alley.
So this is, Commissioners, and many of you might remember the Dairy Days we had, or some of the livestock show. Remember the Golden Spike Livestock Show from back
Old days.
old days.
Right
This
in
is kind of
Commissioner
what's,
Jenkins' front yard.
yeah,
Plain City days.
Dairy days when the county didn't have it, and it was in Plain City.
right.
Yeah, and in fact, we held it when there wasn't any dairies left in Plain City, and that's when they decided it was time to
Right.
move it elsewhere.
Well, and that's Scott Wayment. He was one of the big contributors to that, and also Papa George.
Yep, 10.
Ted's such a good guy.
Yeah, he is.
Our heart goes out
Love
to that
Ted.
family loss of their dad. But yeah, great. Any questions for Mr. Olson on this?
Not for me.
I'll entertain a motion then to approve.
I'd love to make that motion, Mr. Chair.
Please.
To approve the, how does that say? To approve the, we call it Weber County Dairy Days now, huh?
Yeah, that was part of it with us kind of taking over the sponsorship, and
Plain City's gone. To approve Weber County Dairy Days.
Great. Commissioner Farrar, is that a second?
I'll second that.
Great. And just one last comment as it relates to the 1 in 15 cities, Plain City. We're a friend to all the dairies in all the cities of the county. That's why it's Weber County Dairy Days. And so, great. I'll place that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Olson.
You might mention, Mr. Chair, when you was talking about the Papage horses, it was Harry that just recently died.
That's correct. Yeah.
And that was impressive obituary where it talked about all the national awards that that dairy won. They've done quite a job.
Harry was nationally acclaimed. I mean, he was really a forward-thinking
He was.
dairyman. Yeah, he was a great man. And he served on our fair board for a number of years. He was very impactful to our community. And he's a fine man. Going to move to item 3, Miss Wilson, request for approval of Resolution 10 of the County Commissioners of Weber County appointing members to the Weber County Fair Advisory Board.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, just looking for approval. I've got 4 board members. They're all just reappointments. I have 2 one-year terms and 2 4-year terms.
Great. Can you, what I'd like you to do, Ashton, is if you could go over the members who'd fill the 4-year terms and then the other terms, and so we have them.
Yeah, so the 1-year term is Susan Klontz and Glenda Lee. Susan's over our competitive exhibits. Glenda Lee helps with our draft horse show. The 4-year terms is Corey Green and Mike Matthew.
Great. Commissioners, any questions for Ms. Wilson on the appointments to this fair board?
Nope.
Great. I'll entertain a motion.
Okay.
Excuse me. If there's no questions, wouldn't we first have or no, you just call for it. Thanks.
Well, do you want
So we have a motion
Okay, I'd
first.
like that, but
I'd make a motion that we approve resolution number 10 on the appointments to the Weber County Fair Board.
okay, great. We have a motion.
I'll second that.
Second, and now Fatima.
Commissioner Faure,
Aye.
Commissioner Jenkins,
Aye.
Chair Harvey.
Aye, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for helping me grow in my situation here, Commissioners. I appreciate it. The rest of our commission meeting will be presented by our very own Ed Sullivan, Jr., Commissioner Scott Jenkins. The first one is the request for approval of an interlocal cooperative agreement by and between Weber County and Roy City for paramedic services. Commissioner Jenkins?
Yes, that interlocal agreement is for paramedics, and it gives Roy City $410,000 to do it, and that comes out of the paramedic fund. So I'd make a motion that we, somebody want to say something about it? There's a lot of paramedics sitting there on the back row.
Commissioner Faure, any questions for you?
So just we've had this discussion. Remind me again how this works out with what we talked about with equipment,
Heavy rescue.
the heavy rescue equipment that was part of this discussion. And does this have anything to do with that?
I can't answer that. I didn't think it did.
I can chime in here, Commissioners, if you want me to. This is
Yeah.
Brian.
I'd like to just know kind of where that fits into this, if at all.
Our
Right.
legal, Mr. Barron, go ahead.
So the county has the license to provide paramedic services throughout the county, and we divide that up between these 3 contracts, number 4, 5, and 6. The heavy rescue agreement is something recent that we've discussed, and that is above and beyond the basic paramedic services. And so that's contract number 7 on your list. That's primarily funded through grants, but if there's a shortfall in grant funding, the county has agreed to make up the difference in the shortfall so that we can support this heavy rescue program.
So 7 deals with the heavy rescue.
That's
Yes.
Okay,
And it's above and beyond the paramedic
I get it.
contracts.
Okay, that answers my question. Thank you very much.
So Commissioner Jenkins, any questions? Great, I'll entertain a motion.
I'd make a motion that we approve item number 4, which is an interlocal agreement by and between Weber County and Roy City for the services provided for paramedic rescue out there.
We have a motion.
Second.
A second. I'll call for that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 5 is that same interlocal cooperative agreement by and between Weber County and Ogden City for paramedic services. Commissioner Jenkins?
It's the same thing. The only difference is the amount changes from 410 to 1.411 million.
Thank you. Commissioner Faure, any questions?
Nope.
Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
On a motion and a second, place the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. On to item number 6, same interlocal cooperative agreement by and between Weber County and Weber Fire District for paramedic services. Commissioner Jenkins?
Yes. same thing once again, and I think the amount was exactly the same thing too, 410,000.
Very good. Any questions?
Nope.
Great. Place the motion. All in favor? Wait.
Motion to approve?
Gary, go.
Second.
Great. Place the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Now to item 7.
Okay, so item 7.
Let me read that.
Okay.
Thank you. Request for approval of an interlocal cooperative agreement by and among Weber County, Ogden City, Riverdale City, Weber Fire District, Northview Fire District, Royce City, and South Ogden City to provide urban search and rescue services throughout Weber County in a coordinated fashion. And by the way, before we, Commissioner Jenkins, I appreciate the work you've done on this, and those from the respective districts. Never have I seen a cooperative agreement where you all are talking and everything. That's really, really good. It kind of helps us. It doesn't kind of. It definitely helps us through this process, and we commend you for getting together and working things out. Commissioner Jenkins?
Well, if you remember, Commissioners, we had a debate whether we wanted to keep heavy rescue going, whether we wanted to expand it, what we wanted to do with it, and how we were going to fund it if we did keep it going and expand it. And anyway, in the end, we decided there was a surplus in the paramedic fund. And so we decided that that'd be the place to go because it was close enough related that we felt comfortable furnishing it through, or funding it through there. Now, the downside to that is as time goes on and this takes place, will it eat up at that fund? And if it does, will we have the wherewithal between the three of us to raise that rate a little to fund it? And we basically decided that's how we wanted to do it. And the fire districts agreed with that. They were pleased. I don't want to misrepresent you fellas sitting there, but I think you were pleased. I'm seeing all your heads go up and down. That was your thumb you stuck up, right? Okay.
It's kind of like watching those cars go down the block and those dogs in the back when their heads are just going like that.
Anyway, they've agreed to this as well. So this is a first time on this agreement. This is a big deal, this heavy rescue, and we're excited about it. And so here we go. So that's the explanation of it, Mr. Chair.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. Commissioner Frohr, any comments?
No, I think it's going to be a good thing, though. It's to finally bring this with an agreement. It appears we have agreement, a good working relationship with the cities that are involved with this. So I'm optimistic this will work out.
Well, there were 7 agencies that came together, and they all agreed to get along. They all agreed to work with one another. That was their commitment to us, and that's wonderful. Mr. Barron, do you have any comments? I'm just kind of looking right in those windows there, and have anything there?
Yeah, you're very perceptive. I just had a clarification on the agreement with the Weber Fire District. This was on number 6. I can bring that up now, or we can wait until number 7
We are on number 7.
finalized. This is going back to number 6.
Okay, let's go ahead before we make the vote on 7. Go ahead on number 6.
Okay, so just a clarification, Commissioner Jenkins said it was $410,000, and that is in the agreement, but it's times 2. There are 2 units, and Jason Horn, who used to help oversee this program, just came and made that clarification to me. This is in paragraph 1 under section 4. It has the amount of $410,000 for the Upper Valley Paramedic Ambulance Services and $410,000 for one paramedic rescue unit. So it's a total of $820,000.
And that explains why Britt got so tightened up and hurriedly ran over to.
Yeah.
That's great.
Thank you very much.
You moved rather quickly, Britt. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Any questions on that, Commissioners?
That makes good sense.
Let's continue then with item number 7, the case in point of the heavy rescue. I'll entertain a motion for that.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. I'll place that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen, for again, and please extend that to the other parties.
So I have a question here, if I might.
Please.
Chair. So the other day we had a proposal come through on this heavy rescue for a piece of equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And it was $130,000 or $40,000, I guess. I think. I don't remember the exact price. But anyway, nobody talked to me about it, so I refused to sign it. Did you two sign it?
Nope. I don't think I've seen them.
Have you? I'm mixed up there. I'm mixed up.
I've heard about this piece of equipment. This is for the heavy rescue.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so they're looking at buying some equipment, and I believe the total cost was above $500,000. It was about $130,000 a year for a 5-year lease to own
Above
type
50,000,
situation.
not 500,000, above 50,000, I think you meant to say.
I think the total cost was over 500,000, and it was 100 and something thousand a year. Yeah, for 5 years to purchase it, and that's something they're looking into, and I think that's something that will come to you again now that this agreement has been signed.
I'm going to speak for the three of us. I think on something like that, gentlemen, you'll want to get together and make that presentation in a work session. It only needs to be like 15 minutes, but we need to understand what we're doing. We're not going to just sign $500,000.
Well, that was exactly my point.
Yeah.
I refused to sign that, and we will never sign something we don't have some side of a presentation.
Jared, hold on. That can be away from this meeting. It doesn't have to be in this one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was just gonna address what I had talked to you about, if you'd like me to.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Sure.
Commissioners, good morning.
Good morning.
Jared Shawley from Riverdale.
Thank you.
The discussion was more so how do we want to move forward in the future and what the guidelines would be in that purchase. And I just did some outreach to see what that cost would be. And the 5 years is $135,000. If we bumped it to 10, it's like $75,000. So I was looking for a little bit of direction between me and him, just to kind of move forward of what you guys would expect. And that's where we were going. I didn't feel like we submitted anything as a purchase yet.
Somewhere I see it.
That's how
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I think, and I want to commend you. I know you were one of the principals to get this really off the ground, Jared. Thank you.
Thank you.
On something like that, for me, I'm just going to speak for myself. I would hope that you'd get with Ricky Hatch and with Scott Parks so they can amortize that out and find out what the percentage of interest is and depreciation and everything else on that.
Yeah, this was very infantile, early into the stage of moving forward.
Yeah, we take a look at
Yes, you do.
the money. So a lot. So.
And we also had a Chiefs meeting coming up tomorrow to discuss the same thing. So I wanted to have a little direction going into that meeting before I went to the Chiefs with it as
Like
well.
I say, Mr. Hatch or Mr. Park can help you with that.
Just make sure they know that we like to see this. So we're
Oh, yeah.
expecting a presentation in our work meeting.
You'll have it.
Great.
Very good.
Okay.
And that in that presentation, then you'll also be prepared with the recommendation from the comptroller and from Mr. Hatch.
Perfect. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Great, thank you, commissioners. That's good discussion. We're going to move on to the next item on our agenda, which is item number H, commissioners' comments. Commissioner Faur?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Commissioner Jenkins?
Well, thank you.
Okay.
I've said everything I need to.
Very good. I'll entertain a motion then on item I, India. Which
You're not
one?
going to say anything?
No,
Really?
Yeah,
Motion to adjourn.
very good. Motion and second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.